Hey Reject Nation, Greg Alba here. This is Movie Man Mark with us today.
You have to say it with more enthusiasm, though.
This is Movie Man
No,
Mark.
not the whole sentence, just the name.
This is... Are we on your channel right now?
No.
Okay, Movie Man Mark.
That's exactly what I was going
All right,
for, yeah.
I keep the guests happy.
Yeah.
Go check out his YouTube channel, people. A lot of fun comedic hijinks.
You don't have to.
Over there.
You don't have to, but...
Wow, just... The
I mean,
humble
it's
game
your channel.
does not work. Listen, Patreon plug right now. You know, YouTubers do that. Over there, we have full-length TV show reactions, weekly Q&As, a bunch of goodies. But one of our main reward tiers, whatever video you request, we must definitely do, whether it be a discussion, some type of topic video, it's usually a reaction. And today comes from a man named Gregory Bullock. I'm sure he wants John in the video, but he's actually driving 2 hours away right now to go get a passport. So instead, you're going to have to settle for Movie Man Mark. Gregory Bullock, he lives all the way in Boston.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry that you're not John, or sorry you live in Boston?
I don't live in Boston, so sorry that I'm not John.
It happens. Gregory Bullock, he said specifically he wants a What Culture video. We did a Google Hangout with this guy recently. And Gregory, I just gotta tell you, other than the fact that you have a sexy name, I also think that you really uplift my spirit. When we make you smile, it makes me feel happy internally. When you're not in my sight, I am depressed right away.
Wow. And that's what life's all about, you know, having emotions based on the people around you. He's basically saying that, Greg, you're making Greg's life better.
Only when you're around. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is I'm codependent on you, which is okay.
Yeah. I mean, he does pay you money monthly, right?
Yeah, he pledges to the Patreon.
Yeah. So keep doing that.
Because I'm codependent.
Yeah. My PayPal link's going to be in the description below if you feel like just giving money out to everyone.
Let's transition. We're going to watch a video from What Culture today.
He's got an SD card stuck to his arm. Not anymore.
8 obscure movie secrets that took years to discover. Just put your headphones on, Mark. You're making it take way too long of a process.
Took years to discover. I can't wait for this.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jules here from WhatCulture.com, and if there's one thing that you need to know about me, besides the fact that I am incredibly smug, is the fact that I love eggs. It's probably why I ended up looking like one in later life. But it's also why I absolutely love Easter eggs in movies. And I'm not talking about the ones that you can see coming a mile off. I'm talking about the ones that take years to discover. Do you see where I'm going with this? Yes, that's right. It's time for a list on Easter eggs that took, well, years to discover. With this in mind, I'm Jules from WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 obscure movie secrets that took years to discover. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding,
before you've even seen their content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, the button. Gremlins. Now, you'd think that a classic film like Gremlins would have a poster that everyone would basically have looked at so often and so in depth that there'd be no secrets left to find at all. Well, you'd be wrong! Because it turns out that there was one right under our noses, or as it is more the case, under our belts. Now, admittedly, this does take some finding because of its tiny size, but if you look closely at the crotch of the unseen figure holding Gizmo in his box, then you'll see that the button is the iconic Amblin symbol and a nod to executive producer Steven Spielberg. The detail was so small that it wasn't until its 30th anniversary that it got noticed. Kind of like my own package then. Real. Number 7, hidden raunch.
That's cool.
For a long time, a lot of people have said that Disney have tried to smuggle a lot of smut into their kids' films, saying that you couldn't really move for genitalia and peni in their flicks. But to be fair, when you look at most of them, you have to question who is actually submitting this and what they want to see rather than what's on screen. However, the Rescuers definitely did include a bit of smut. Yes, there's definitely a bit of jazz to this film, as thanks to some pranksters in the animation department, you can see a tiny image of a topless lady in the background of a chase scene. Now, it wasn't noticed until 1999 when the film got its second release on VHS, but once it did, Disney was shocked and they recalled 3.4 million copies in absolute horror.
They didn't even know.
6,
What?
Ratatouille. One of the best things about Pixar films, besides the fact that they allow me to feel emotion for once in my husk of a life, is the fact that they have so many little details that tie their films together into a sort of shared universe. Be it pizza vans, coloured objects that look like certain furry monsters, and in the case of Ratatouille, it's the one thing that you definitely don't want to see near food, a cockroach. Yes, a year ahead of its debut in WALL-E, the robot's cockroach companion actually turns up in Linguini's apartment for a matter of seconds. And while you can claim that it's just any old cockroach, Pixar themselves said that it was one and the same being. Which kind of makes it only even more depressing when you know about the future decline of humans in the beginning of WALL-E.
They love doing that.
Thanks, Pixar. I really didn't need that existential crisis before lunch. Number 5, The Dribbling T-Rex, The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Stupid name for a movie.
The Lost World gets a lot of stick for, well, to put it bluntly, being a shit Jurassic Park movie. Let's face it,
like that movie.
it is. But there is one scene that kind of saves it for being so tongue-in-cheek it almost pokes through the other goddamn side. So remember that bit where the T-Rex is loose in the suburban neighborhood? Well, as it approaches a house that it wants to take a nibble on, it spots a basketball hoop and then makes a weird dribbling motion with its arm. It is.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
It is what we call
Did you see it?
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
delightfully stupid.
He's walking by and he's just like...
It's Jesus. That's one for the old fans there.
All right, I'm gonna play that back later.
That might be a bit of a
Now, I know
stretch,
that
but...
Doctor Strange hasn't been out for that long, but to be fair, this little detail lasted a fair amount of time, considering the amount of effort that goes into combing over these films by the MCU fan addicts. I'm looking at you. The film relies on a genius use of a time loop by Doctor Strange to defy Dormammu, basically becoming Groundhog Day 2 I've come to bargain. In fact, this was clearly a film that the team were aware that they were mirroring, as the date that the Doc had his life-changing car crash was on February the 2nd, aka
Where does it say the
Groundhog
date?
Day. Number 3, The Cheating
how did they say
Nazi,
that?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
back.
Now this one technically isn't an
Remember,
Easter
I'm
egg, it's
missing
more
it.
of a logistical problem that had to be overcome on set, but still, it's a very interesting story. Now, Ronald Lacey, aka the most horrifying Nazi in the entire known cinematic universe, couldn't make some shots towards the end of the film, and so Steven Spielberg had to think quick. And by that, I meant that he just put his coat and hat on the seat during a car chase that he was meant to be in, and no one noticed for absolutely years. It's kind of so obvious. Homage. Jurassic
I still
Park.
didn't notice
Fans
until
of
the very
Deadpool
last
2
second.
will be aware that Wade wears a shirt that's kind of similar to the one that Chunk wears in The Goonies, but he was not the first to pay homage to this, well, tubby little critter. That honour went to Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park, who seems to have dressed exclusively in Goonies-inspired outfits until he ends up being Dino Chow in the movie's first act. This clever little homage to the story Steven Spielberg wrote and produced with Chris Columbus, there we go, wasn't discovered until 2017, almost 25 years later. And number 1, the medication hint, Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter is not the sort of man that you want to invite over for, let's say, a tea party, because A, he's incredibly creepy, and B, has a penchant for munching on man meat that only your mum could rival. There's my one per list. From the very opening, it's clear that while he is in fact behind bars, he is actually very much in control. And it's funny that while we're all shocked at the line, I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti, I just sound like I'm very, very camp. Anyway, there was actually a second meaning to this line. It turns out that it's actually Lecter trying to make a medical joke. In his prison, he would have been treated with monoamine oxidase, or MAOIS, to control his mental condition. But as any medical professional like Lecter would know, amongst the things that you can't eat or drink with them are liver, beans, and wine. Lecter was basically confessing that he wasn't taking his meds. Who were Vicar? And there we have it. Those were 8 obscure movie secrets that took years to discover. Let me know what you thought about them down in the comment section below. And before you go, maybe you'd like to check out this that I've done on the gaming channel or this that I've done on That Film Theory. You can't go wrong because they both include me. Anyway, as always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!
Okay. Well, yeah, we know Pixar does those Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, they do that for like most of them.
Yeah, and if you noticed, the preview for, well, it was a preview. The Wall-E cricket was in Ratatouille before Wall-E came out. So at the time, even if you do see that cricket, you have no idea, like, why it's there. So I guess that one probably is the most accurate to the title that they're giving this video, because you don't know that it's an Easter egg until Wall-E comes out the next year. They even did that with Coco. Like in Coco, there is a character from Toy Story 4 that we don't know yet. Yeah, because
I didn't know they
you
did
just
that.
have to look for the kids that are playing with toys, and that'll give you an idea as to one of the new characters that will be in Toy Story 4.
Interesting.
So that could be on this list too. Pixar does that all the time.
Oh, that's like an intense version. I mean, I thought this was a great list because I hadn't heard of any of these actually.
Yeah.
And sometimes I watch these list videos, I'm like, oh yeah, I know about that one, But like with the Gremlins one, with the Amblin symbol, paying homage to Steven Spielberg on the button, that is...
How do you notice
How do you notice that? And was this confirmed exactly?
Also, how do you zoom in that much? Like, look at that.
Yeah, that's like those like spy movies, like zoom in and then they say enhance, like Blade Runner.
Enhance. Freeze and enhance.
Where they just like zoom in on an image and enhance it, which I think is so unrealistic. But apparently they successfully did it here.
I'm thinking someone that discovered this probably was looking at a huge poster of Gremlins, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe it was the type of guy that puts up the movie posters at movies and was just super bored and realized like that's the Emblem Entertainment logo. For them to even know the Emblem Entertainment logo, they have to be a big movie fan.
Of course.
But we should check the Gremlins poster. Maybe the Emblem Entertainment logo is already on the poster, and then they noticed, oh, it's there and there. It's on this twice.
You know what? I like
because it might
homework
be at the
assignment.
bottom of the poster as well. I would think it is. So then, with it being on the button, it's on the poster twice.
Let's see here.
Yep. It's on the bottom left-hand side, and it's also on the button. So even if you just have a very good eye, you would notice, huh, they got the same emblem twice.
That is crazy, but I don't know how you still make it out.
Yeah, still, yeah.
That's amazing.
It would have to be on a very big poster.
What's cool about this to me is, Spielberg was just doing Ready Player One and the whole movie being full of Easter eggs. It's like, it's cool to know that he was always a big fan of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Because like 3 of these movies are Spielberg movies, and there's 3 or 4 of these movies are either produced or directed by Spielberg.
Yeah.
The Rescuers, man, that one, like Disney has always had that reputation of, they talk about the Lion King one.
Oh, you can make a whole video just about the Disney.
All the Disney ones where there's like hidden things in there.
Yeah.
Or the Little Mermaid with the guy with the erection or something.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, and then this one I never heard of. The Rescuers was my jam growing up. That was arguably my favorite Disney movie growing up.
Oh, wow.
I have a VHS of this movie. So
you notice how there's 2 Disney movies in this list with rats? You got The Rescuers and then Ratatouille, and they both start
coincidence?
They both
I think not.
Yeah, exactly. They both start with R.
And they're rats. That's why Mark's here. For coincidences,
to
point those out.
Let's find some more. I do like Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Wait, I need to play back this dribbling moment that he's talking about.
You still don't see it?
That is so weird. Do you think they're reading too far into that?
No, I thought at first, but seeing it a second time, it's not doing anything. It's walking around like this. And then the second it passes by the basketball hoop, it kind of...
It's so stupid. Makes the whole thing even dumber.
Yeah. The sequence is already dumb.
That's not a fun Easter egg. That just makes it seem so much more stupid.
The animator had to like consciously put that in.
I wonder if Spielberg even noticed that because the lighting's so dark.
Oh my gosh. There's another coincidence. We had the Gremlins poster with an Easter egg, and then this with an Easter. So Spielberg just has a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was saying that
Ready Player One.
3 or 4 of them are Spielberg movies.
Oh, you did
Indiana
say that already?
Jones.
You did say that?
Because like 3 of these movies are Spielberg movies, and there's 3 or 4 of these movies are either produced or directed by Spielberg. Were you just like thinking of the next thing you were going to say and not paying attention to what I was saying?
Probably. I was looking at the ISO.
This moment right here in Indiana Jones, where they put his coat there, I'm surprised no one noticed that.
Yo, I didn't even notice that until the last second that this scene was on screen. I was looking around at all the movement.
So is that, yeah, that's what I mean too. The Spielberg tends to shoot his shots a little bit on a wider frame where there's a lot of movement going on so you can choose what to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And if this isn't moving, it's so easy to see why no one probably caught that.
That's how magicians work, right? You have the movement going on here while the real trick is down there and you don't notice that. Wow, it really is just a hat.
It's just a hat.
There's nobody in that hat.
They could have at least put a double in there.
Yeah.
It's like, screw it.
Yeah.
We don't need it. And another Spielberg one too
There we
with
go.
the Goonies references. That's something I would have never caught on to.
Is it the exact same shirt? I think it's just a Hawaiian shirt. But
to me it just looks like a regular Hawaiian shirt.
Right. It is. It's not even the exact same shirt.
No, it's different colors.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that one's a bit of a stretch.
Purple, green. No, they're different. Those are different shirts.
Those are different shirts.
I don't know. Maybe it's a reference. So the final one, they're talking about Hannibal Lecter basically confessing he didn't take his meds because of what he eats and stuff is contradictory to what he's allowed to eat when he's on his meds. But I'm like, for all I know, that could have just been poor screenwriting and not knowing the medical knowledge. To me, that sounds like they're reaching pretty far. And for that to be number 1, I don't know. That just
Oh, is it going from 10 to 1?
8 to 1, yeah.
So that's the biggest.
Yeah. That's
the smallest.
To me, I'm like, if that is a big plot point, sure. If that's confirmed, cool. But if this isn't confirmed, I feel like, so many. You can watch medical shows. Like,
I don't think that's a big secret.
That are often so inaccurate to how medicine works. I'm talking about like, Grey's Anatomy and Scrubs. ER, these shows that are never fully accurate. For all I know, that could have just been something where they're like, who's really going to care,
I don't even think that they noticed. Like the screenwriters. That seems really small to me.
People are looking in.
Really?
Yeah, we have all these lights on. Let them watch.
You ever get noise complaints?
No.
Today might be the first.
But either way, this was a fun list, and I feel like I learned a lot. It's so going to be the information I like. When I'm hanging out with my movie buddies, and I just started saying, "Did you know Jurassic Park? If you watch it again, he's like dribbling a basketball." I'm going to be the guy who knows things.
That's probably the coolest, honestly.
That is the coolest because it's the dumbest.
Yeah, it's by far the dumbest. Yeah. But I do wonder if Spielberg knows all of these.
Yeah, that's true. Ready Player One, he didn't even know some of the stuff. He's admitted, like, I didn't know the visual effects team did it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. Because it's just impossible to notice. Like, even if you're directing a film, you got all these animators putting in small details that you don't even notice.
You might not even know. That's why I'm thinking, like, maybe the dribbling part, he probably didn't even notice.
There's a dinosaur in Ready Player One, no?
Yeah.
How funny would it be if he's dribbling a basketball? Or just doing the hand motion walking by?
He really liked that Easter egg.
Yeah, that's the best one.
All right, guys. Well, are there any other obscure references that you guys know? Yeah, I said that question right. You guys can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. Check us out on Patreon. Movie Man Mark, subscribe to his YouTube channel as soon as you can, people. I do, so you should too.
Thank you for that glowing plug.
Of course.